Hello everyone. Thwaite's just been telling me that when he was a puppy and lived in Pontypool in South Wales, he went on a visit to Abergavenny, and there he saw an astonishing creature with horns. It was a goat, and it was waiting to be milked. And he hadn't given this any more thought until the other day Letty came home. Now Letty is our niece, and she's living with us, and she works in a lab at Oxford. And Thwaite was very interested by this. He said, "Is it a black lab or a labradoodle?" So I said, no, it's not a dog at all. It's just a place she works. She does experiments on coronavirus. And he thought that really wasn't nearly so interesting as a black lab or a labradoodle. Anyway, the point is that Letty came home with some Abergavenny goat's cheese. "Oh," said Thwaite, "I know all about that. I've seen the goat." And then he started asking me about things in the supermarket. And I understood he was wanting to know if there was anything from a dog. And there wasn't. I said, "I'm very sorry, but we have cow's milk and goat's milk and cheese made from them, but we don't have anything made from a dog's milk. In fact, I don't think people would like the idea of it very much." He said, "Well, is there anything else?" And I said, "Well, there is. There's beer. There's beer from Thwaite's Brewery. It's very nice beer, and occasionally I buy it." "Oh," he said, "well, I'm glad it's named after me, but it's not exactly of me, is it?" And I said, "Well, no, Thwaite, it's not of you. It's just called after your name." So we talked a bit about other things, and Thwaite said, "We don't get much of a look-in, we dogs." I was hopeful when we went to visit the Royal Berks Hospital. He said, "I know you left me in the car, and I had to wait there while you went in. But I listened very carefully, and I couldn't hear any barking at all. I have never been in a place with less barking than the Royal Berks. It hardly seems fair. I thought there might be corgis who were barking, because corgis are royal, aren't they?" So I said, "Well, it sounds like the noise you make, but it actually hasn't anything to do with it, Thwaite." He said, "No, that's very sad. You see, I'd like to be a contributor. So I liked the idea of being associated with a hospital through Berks. But if I can't do that, what can I do?" And I said, "Well, Thwaite, in the Alps, where there are those enormous mountains, there are dogs which help with rescues. They're called St. Bernards. They're very, very big dogs." "Oh," said Thwaite. "Well, I'm not a very big dog, but I can always help." And I said, "Well, the St. Bernard dogs in the Alps, they carry a cask of brandy round their neck." I said, "I don't think you could do that, Thwaite, but it's just a size problem, A cask of brandy would just be too big for you." Oh, he said, "Well, could I perhaps have a small container of Red Bull? That gives people energy. So when I go to rescue them, they could drink that and then they'd feel better. Or maybe a selection pack of miniatures. So when I stroll up and there's somebody who's fallen down the mountain, I can say, 'Would you like some tequila maybe? Or perhaps some Jack Daniels?' And they could take their pick." So I said, "Well, Thwaite, I think that's a very nice idea. I like to think of you going out on the mountains with your tequila and your Jack Daniels." "Oh," said Thwaite, "thank you very much." And I said, "Well, Thwaite, the mountains are a wilderness of sorts. And we're now in a wilderness of another sort. Because in Lent, which which is the time that leads up to Easter, we are thinking about being with Jesus when he was living in the wilderness, trying to understand his vocation on earth, why he was on earth and what he was doing. And when we put ourselves in that sort of wilderness, away from normal temptations and the things that keep us so busy, then we may need somebody to come and help us. And if they have, really or metaphorically, a nice assortment of miniatures or Red Bull round their neck, then that's a way in which they could make us more cheerful. Well, said Thwaite, I'm your man. I am all in favour of helping people and making them more cheerful. So that is going to be my job during Lent.